It is day 5 at TIFF, and the stars continue to shine.
Among the big names in town, Scarlett Johansson, the woman who currently holds the record for being the highest-grossing actor in box office history, just walked the red carpet at Roy Thompson Hall, and that's where we find CTV's Sean Leathong. Sean, she's making her directorial debut, and there's all kinds of buzz surrounding this film she's brought to TIFF.
There certainly is, and like we know, Scarlett Johansson is usually in front of the camera, and that's a huge attraction here at the Toronto International Film Festival. With her directorial debut, Eleanor the Great, Scarlett tells this unbelievable story of a woman who's 95 years old. She'd been living with her best friend for many years. Her friend passes away and then moves to New York City to live with her daughter and her grandson. When she's in New York City, she takes on the life story of her best friend as a Holocaust survivor, posing as that person. But this movie is surprisingly fun. Now, it stars June Quibb, who's 95 years old, and we got to talk to her on the red carpet. She is a ton of fun, I do have to say. But first, we talked to Scarlett Johansson about what it is about this story that she could really relate to. Here's what she had to say.
It's so rare that a script comes along that feels like a little gem, and it really reminded me of these certain kind of New York-centric projects that are very character-driven that I loved growing up, like Crossing Delancey and Living Out Loud and Moonstruck, and movies that are very much about what it is to be human, and in all of its flaws, in all of its or perceived flaws, and strengths and emotional strengths and all of that. So it was such a extraordinary script.
Look at this.
Hi.
Our microphone goes so well with your outfit.
Yes, it does. I should just take it with me.
Take it, it's yours now. Okay. I might not have a job tomorrow, but it's
That's
worth
all
it.
right.
All right. So she did have a lot of fun. She said playing the role allowed her to really explore that part of herself. Earlier on today, Masai Ujiri, former president of the Toronto Raptors, was back in Toronto to talk about his movie that he's co-producing, the Origin, the Basketball of Africa League. Now, it's about this league that many people may not know about. It was conceived of in 2019, where they wanted to take an international basketball league and bring it to Africa. So there are now 12 teams in this league competing among many countries. It's something like a Champions League in soccer, where you can picture each team being the champion of their own country, getting to play against each other. Now, the real part that they wanted to celebrate is how this brings down barriers within Africa. Ujiri himself talked about how many people see Africa as a monolith, but really it's more than 50 countries that have many different customs, many different religions, and he talked about why this is important for him. Here's what he had to say.
When you start to have this come together, it's really special for us on the continent, and that's what this league has done. We've traveled around, been hosted in Morocco, in Egypt, South Africa, Rwanda, Senegal. So it's a caravan league now, but it's going to grow into home and away soon, hopefully, and as we build infrastructure on the continent. But we're big in Africa on bringing people together. It's part of our culture, and for countries and a sport to do this for us is huge.
Now, we know Ujiri has worked with his charity Giants of Africa for many years. He's taken on a role with the United Nations in the last couple of months, but he did say that there is something more on the horizon for him. We talked about how Toronto has always claimed Masai Ujiri and always will, and he said he's absolutely felt the same way, that this is very much like home for him, and they've done something great here, but he is excited for his next chapter. Reporting live, I'm Sean Leathong. Nathan, I'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Sean.